of other people and their responses or their words or their takeaways from the video, but fair enough if you didn't like the video. I think that's my biggest fear with making content. I would like, the last thing I'd want to do is let down a community. You know what I mean? Especially when it's like not my own. Like with Kingdom Hearts, I knew I was in my bag because it was like my community and I had been in collaboration with the whole community for years, and this was like a huge passion project for me, so I was comfortable. But when it came to making the FF7 video, that was probably my most nervous because it was really out of my normal range, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've watched these guys all run FF7 for years, but, you know, I can't act like I've sat here and actually fucking speedran the game myself. That was my first video where I was like kind of blindly having a crack at trying to explain a speed game that I don't run, which I usually try not to do because it's just not ideal, you know, because I could get some information wrong and I don't want to misrepresent the community. There's nothing wrong with making videos from games outside of your normal shit, but for me personally, I get very nervous when, like, I try to mainly make videos on games I run because I feel more comfortable and confident, and I know that the community knows what I'm doing in good faith as well. I certainly wasn't doing it for any sort of like novelty, you know what I mean? Oh, I didn't mean to close all the rides. I hope that doesn't fuck with anything. This looks like a very good run. Very OP. Sorry, Goran. I know you're sending messages. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just kind of head down at the moment. This is a fast run. I will respond when I get a chance, buddy. Even that wouldn't be bad. For example, cutting Caleb's sub-7 run, that wasn't even a world record. That gets like 10 minutes, shouldn't be the main focus. Well, that I can definitely agree with if I was to have made a record video. I understand from a YouTuber's perspective that you're trying to get someone who's, I guess, more clickable and searchable, especially when you're putting so much effort into a video and you want it to do well. Like, I definitely don't blame someone for, and if it's relevant, then it's relevant, you know? Like, say Caleb goes on to get world record, or in that run he was on world record pace but it failed, or he discovers a new strat or something like that. I can totally get behind all of that for sure. But in my own, like, I'm not going to knock Ab for what he did in his video because I haven't watched it, so I don't have an opinion yet. But if I was to do my own personally, I don't really add runs that are just PBs that don't ever relate to the history of the game, unless it's like I explained before, new strats, close to a world record, or a future runner who is about to get record. Like Trihex ran Cage 2, I think, once, but I'm not gonna mention Trihex in my Cage 2 record history video, you know what I mean? Whenever I end up doing it. But I can totally see from, like, for example, Luz's perspective, it being frustrating, you know, because he did innovate the game, regardless if you like the guy or you don't, which I totally, like, I'm whatever about. If you don't like someone, you don't like someone, you know what I mean? And that's perfectly fine. You're free, like, you should always be free to have your emotions and feelings and be able to do what you want with it based off of that. But, like, at the end of the day, he did have a lot of influence in the game's history, so I definitely would be involving him. Like, even if, like, I don't know, I don't want to go too much into it because I don't want to feel like, I don't want to look like I'm, or be perceived that I'm throwing shade at anyone, because I really am not. I've never really spoken to Ab before, and I don't really speak much to Luz, so, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I watch Luz, but, you know, I've always over the years just watched him on mute doing runs, so didn't really know a lot about the guy. Because I was always just lurking and doing shit. Yeah, okay, I can see that. That's that. If that's the perception you got, that's fair. I mean, like, the sub-7 run from Caleb can still be, like, a video you can do. It's definitely like, the journey of Caleb Hart, you know, getting better at the game. Like, you can do something like that, and that would still be probably an interesting concept as well. I think this is going to be world record. But yeah, like, no shade on anyone. Like, honestly, I don't really have an opinion. You gotta, like, you gotta give people a lot of respect for doing videos like that. They're not easy, and I'm sure their intentions were meant in the right way, but it's fair enough if people didn't like the video, you know? But anyways, let's see if this is world record. Yes, and it's sub 11. Let's fucking go, dude. Dude, and sub 11 as well. Oh my god. I did it. Can't believe I did it. Propane. I think I know who this account is. I'm trying to think whose account this is. It rings a bell. I feel like it might be like a soggy ult. From like the Pain 975 meme days. Back to back world records, dude. I'm going crazy. 10:58. I'm so fucking happy.